Hello friends, I'm Kristie Marcotte. In today's video, I'm going to talk about donating cards. I've been sharing my cards with others for years, and I talk about it occasionally in my videos. I've been getting tons of questions asking, how do you prepare your cards for donation? Where do you find places to donate cards? So I thought I would do a video focused on that subject. And I know I'm very rarely in front of the camera, so I thought I would give it a try. Bear with me, this is way outside my comfort zone. So I started making cards about 25 years ago. My sister was doing one of those at-home parties. I think it was close to my heart. She had some card demos set up. I thought it was so much fun. Slowly, I started making more and more cards. Before that, I was doing more traditional scrapbooking, but I've now switched away from scrapbooking and into card making. My first real card making project was about 23 years ago. I was pregnant with my son and I wanted to make the baby announcement cards. After that, I was hooked and I just started making lots and lots of cards. So with all of those cards, needed to find a place to send them since it was way more than I could send to friends and family. And that's how I got into donating cards. In a previous video, I asked for questions that you want answered about donating cards, and you guys came through. I got a little list here, so I will try to answer those in this video. The first question. Do you donate cards directly to the retirement homes? Yes, I have a nearby retirement home just a few miles away and I can drop off cards. So I don't have to worry about paying postage for mailing those cards. And since I am dropping them off directly, I can also make those cards thick and bumpy. Don't have to pay postage for mailing individual cards. Now, I also donate cards to more than just this local retirement home. There's a small charity. For that one, I bring blank cards on the inside. Retirement home cards, I add a message on the inside. And I will talk about that later on in the video. I also bring cards to my local church. Those are blank on the inside. And occasionally I will box up a card and mail it to Cards for Kindness, which is an organization that works with scrapbook.com. Next question, do you only donate holiday cards? No. For the retirement home, I focus on the holiday cards. I want to make sure there's enough for every single resident, but I'll also do seasonal cards. So hello spring, happy spring. And I'll also make sure there's enough for every single resident. All the cards I take to the retirement home have a handwritten message on the inside. It's basically happy mail for the residents. If you've been to a retirement or nursing home, sometimes they can be very sad places. Not everyone gets visitors, not everyone gets mail. So I want to make sure to brighten their day, even if it's just that tiny bit. A handmade card really can make a difference. Just add that nice uplifting message on the inside so they know that they're loved. The next question is how I got started donating cards to retirement homes and other organizations. So as I mentioned earlier, I was making way more cards than I could personally send to friends and family. I needed to find another source, some place that had a need for handmade cards. Now this can be tricky. Some places are perfectly fine with blank cards. Others would prefer a handwritten message on the inside. And I'm fine donating both directions. With the retirement home, I add that handwritten message on the inside. But for church and Cards for Kindness, this other small charity nearby, those are blank cards and the organizations will put that message on the inside. So when you're looking around, be sure to ask what their need is. If they want a message on the inside, sometimes it's a little easier to find that place if you're willing to add that message. I've given cards to cancer centers before, including that uplifting handwritten message on the inside. The next question, are cards blank for residents to use? For the cards I take to retirement home, no, they are not blank. This particular retirement home does not have a need for the residents to use those blank cards. But be sure to ask if you are interested. There may be retirement and nursing homes that want those blank cards so those residents can fill them out. The next question is, do you make cards for the staff? Not usually. I always make sure there are a few extra Veterans Day cards in case there are veteran staff members there. I want to make sure to thank them as well as the residents if they're veterans. For Christmas, I always bring an extra Christmas card, and that is addressed to the entire staff. What do you write on the inside of the cards? I'll go over that part later on in the video, and I'll share what I write for every single holiday and also the different seasons. Where do you buy envelopes and card bases? So I'll talk about card bases first. I purchase cardstock in bulk from a local paper store. Now, it's not card bases. I have them cut cardstock to card base sizes, and I get both the vertical and horizontal card bases. Then I crease them at home. I have a manual creasing machine. I love this. Best purchase I've probably ever made in the crafting world. So after I crease them, and my daughter creases a lot of them for me, then I fold them. The paper I purchase is Accent Opaque Digital 120-pound cover weight cardstock. So it's a very heavyweight cardstock. You can also purchase it on Amazon. And for the products I'm talking about, I will link them in the description box below. For envelopes, I've been purchasing them on Amazon. I found a new type of envelope that I love. It's from Ohuhu. I do have a video all about that, and I'll link it at the end of this video if you want to check it out. I show several different brands, companies, envelopes, and the Ohuhu was my favorite. The next question, do you donate locally or mail them? I've kind of already answered this one. Mostly local donations. Again, retirement home. There's a small organization near me, and also to my church. The cards that I would mail, those go to Creative Kindness, which is part of scrapbook.com. How do you contact nursing homes? So for this one, you could do a phone call. I really think it would be best in person. That's what I did for the current retirement home where I bring the majority of my cards. I showed up, asked to talk to the activity coordinator, and I brought a box of cards with me that already had a message on the inside. That way I'm showing what I do, presenting the cards to them and asking if they had a need for this. And they were so excited. I also asked if they wanted blank cards for the residents, but this particular home had no need for that. So I set up an arrangement that at least every holiday, later on I added in the seasonal, but I would bring enough cards for every single resident. Do you feel pressure to get the cards done? Yes and no. I really want to make sure that all of the residents feel that love, feel that joy, and I would hate to miss out and not have enough Easter cards or Thanksgiving cards. So my goal this year was to make sure I have enough cards, not only for this year, but also for next year. I have had previous years where I was working on cards just days before the holiday. And I don't like that feeling. Sometimes it takes a while to fill out all those cards. On average, I bring 90 cards for each of the holidays and seasons. And filling out 90 cards, it takes a while, makes your wrist really sore. So I think I've answered all of the questions that I saw. If you do have another question, leave it in the comment and I'll try my best to answer it. So let's get into how I prepare cards, mostly for the retirement home, but I'll also go over how I prepare them for other organizations. I've been bringing cards to a nearby retirement home for several years now, so I have my routine. I wrote out a list monthly. That way I remember what I need to bring. This home averages about 90 residents. Now that can change. If they need a few more, I always have extras on hand. I focus on the main holidays and also seasonal cards. So January, I need 90 cards, and those will be winter cards. February, it's Valentine's. March, it's spring. Now, if Easter falls in March, I would probably switch the two. That way they still receive cards in April, and those would just be spring cards. In May, I do Mother's Day cards, and that's where the number does drop. They only need 50 cards. June, it's Father's Day cards. And again, I do 50 cards. In July, we have Independence Day. August, I focus on summer. September, I do autumn cards. Then we move to October with Halloween. November is the busiest month. So I need Veterans Day cards, about 50. And then later in the month, I need Thanksgiving cards. Some years when I'm making Independence Day cards, I'll make some as Veterans Day cards as well, since you can use the red, white, and blue colors. Since many years, Veterans Day just slips my mind, and then it's about here, and I'm rushing to make cards. And that's a very important holiday. I want to make sure to thank our service members. And I finish off the year in December with Christmas cards. And this is where I bring in extra card for the staff. Now this list is just for retirement home cards. And since I make extras, I'm always ready if they need a few more. So since I do have those extra cards, I pulled out one for every single season and also holiday. And I'll show you how I prepare the cards. Whether I give cards to the retirement home, local charities, I always include an envelope. The cards that go to the retirement home, I stamp an image or sentiment on the envelope, and that makes it easier for the activity coordinator at the home to know what the card theme is. So for winter, I stamped a snowflake. Valentine's Day, I have this heart filled with hearts. Spring, I stamped Happy Spring, although I think I am changing that for next year. For Easter, I stamped a decorative Easter egg. Then we have Mother's Day, selected a butterfly. Sometimes I'll stamp a floral image. And I'm showing you an example of the cards I'll be using. For Mother's Day, I very rarely stamp Happy Mother's Day on the outside. Instead, I pick some of my lovely floral cards, and then I'll stamp Happy Mother's Day on the inside. For Father's Day, I always use this cute polka dot tie image. For Independence Day, I stamp this cute American flag. For summer, for this envelope, I decided to stamp a dragonfly. Thought that was a cute image. And I grabbed this cute Hello Sunshine card. The nice thing about bringing the cards to a local home, they can be as thick as I want since they're not going through the mail. For fall, I stamped a cluster of leaves and acorns. For Halloween, I have a cute little cat wearing a witch's hat. And my Halloween cards are always cute. I never bring anything spooky. So for most of my Halloween cards, I tend to use Doodlebug Design Collection since they're always cute. For Veterans Day cards, I usually stamp the silhouette of a service member saluting. I think that works for men and women. For Thanksgiving, I have this cute turkey image for the envelope. Then finally for Christmas, I stamp this cute Santa image. Even though Easter and Christmas are Christian holidays, I never bring religious cards. This is per a request from the retirement home, but there may be some homes that are just fine with Christian cards, so be sure to ask before bringing them. So now I'll show you how I prepare each card, including the message I write on the inside. So on the back of the card, I stamp Handmade by Kristie, and it has this cute little tulip image. This was custom designed for me by my daughter. She designed the little tulip digital image, and I had it made into a stamp. And with the digital image, then I ordered this stamp from Vistaprint. I'm sure there are other places you can order a customized stamp as well. For all the cards I give to the retirement home, I only include my first name. For some of the organizations, I use another stamp, and I will show that here later on. The cards for the retirement home, it's not about me, it's about brightening their day. So I feel I don't need to add all my website information or even my last name. Before I add a handwritten message on the inside, I will stamp a sentiment. And I try to use a sentiment that's not the same as the one I use on the front of the card. So this is a winter card. On the outside, I have warm winter wishes. So I'll select a different stamp for the inside. I'll select Hello Winter, and this is from Jaded Blossom's Winter is Gnoming stamp set. They have a great variety of sentiment stamps. Now, the only reason I'm working on a winter card right here is because I recorded this last year, probably in November. Life has been busy, but I finally got around to finishing up this video. When I'm working on one of the card themes for the retirement home, I try to do all of the cards at once. Not the assembly of the cards, just the preparation of the cards. Since I already have the supplies out, it's just as easy to get them all finished at once. I use a MISTI to stamp the sentiment, that way I get a nice clean impression. So after I stamp a sentiment on the inside, the next step is to add a handwritten message. And I'll write the same message inside all 90 cards, but I do have a different message for each theme or season. In this video, I'll share all of the messages I write, but I'll also include them on my coordinating blog post if you want a quick reference. And I'll admit, letter writing is not my gift, so I keep it very simple. But I still think the cards will brighten someone's day. For the winter card, I'm adding, I hope you are having a beautiful winter day. May the season be gentle and kind. And I'll finish it with sending sunshine, and I'll sign just my first name. And then I'll add the same message in the next 89 winter cards. And this does take me several days since my hand gets a little sore. So once all of the cards are finished, messages added on the inside, there's a stamp on the back, it's time to put the cards inside the envelopes. The envelopes I'm showing in this video are some older envelopes I had on hand. The newer ones I use have that self-stick adhesive. And I will provide a link for the Ohuhu envelopes that I currently use. But even with the adhesive on the envelope, I never use it. Sometimes it's harder for older hands to open envelopes. So instead, I close the envelope with a cute piece of washi tape. And most of the washi tape I get is from Doodlebug Design. So there is the winter card all finished. Now I'll go over the message inside my Valentine's Day card. I stamped Happy Heart Day. This is from a Honeybee stamp set. And the message I wrote is, sending love and hugs your way this Valentine's Day. May your day be filled with joy and sunshine, and I'll sign my first name. For the spring card, I stamped Happy Spring, and this is from Jaded Blossom's Blessed Easter stamp set. And the message is, I hope you are having a lovely day. Spring is here and filling the world with beauty. Sending sunshine, and I'll sign my first name. For the Easter card, I did stamp Happy Easter on the inside, even though I have Happy Easter on the outside, but it's not the same stamp. The message is, wishing you an extra special Easter filled with happiness. Sending sunshine, and I sign my first name. The Happy Easter sentiment is from Jaded Blossom's Carrots for Sale stamp set. For Mother's Day, I'll stamp Happy Mother's Day on the inside, and the stamp is from Jaded Blossom's Mother's Day stamp set. I keep the message simple. I wish you all the love, health, and happiness you deserve. Sending love your way, and my first name. For the Father's Day card, I stamped Your Special, and this is a stamp from an old retired company, Paper Smooches. It's the Sentiment Sampler set. The message I added is, hello, I hope you are having a wonderful day filled with sunshine and joy, and sign my first name. So some of the messages are similar, but they're not exactly the same. For Independence Day, I stamped Happy 4th of July, and the sentiment set is from Jaded Blossom's God Bless America set. It's one of my favorite stamp sets. The message, a little bit longer. bold stripes, bright stars, brave heart. Happy Independence Day. I hope you have a great day celebrating our nation's birth. Sending sunshine and my first name. For summer cards, I stamped Have a Sunshiny Day. And this is a stamp set from scrapbook.com. It's called Sunshiny Day. The message, happy summer, may the warmth of the season fill your day with joy. Sending sunshine, Kristie. For an autumn card, I stamped Happy Fall. The stamp set is from Jaded Blossom. It's their Give Thanks set. The message I wrote is, if autumn leaves were wishes, I'd send you a woodland filled with the brightest of them to say, have a bright and beautiful fall, Kristie. So next up is Halloween. The sentiment I stamped on the inside is wishing you a spooktacular Halloween, and this is from Jaded Blossom's Spooky Season stamp set. The message I wrote is, ghosts and goblins everywhere. There's Halloween magic in the air. I hope you have many reasons to smile this Halloween, Kristie. Always cute for Halloween, never anything scary. The next holiday is Veterans Day. I stamped in honor of our veterans. And this sentiment is from Honeybee Stamps because of the Brave stamp set. It's another great set. The message I included is, thank you for your service to our country. My family and I are truly grateful for all the sacrifices you made to protect our freedoms. You will never be forgotten, Kristie. For Thanksgiving, I stamped Happy Turkey Day. This set is from Pretty Pink Posh. It's called Happy Turkey. It also includes the turkey image I stamped on the envelope. The message is, sending you warm wishes for a very happy Thanksgiving. May this day be a beautiful reminder of all the joy in life, Kristie. And the last card for Christmas, I stamped Believe in the Magic of Christmas. This stamp is from Jaded Blossom's Merry Christmas Gnomie stamp set. The message I added is, Merry Christmas. May the holiday season end with joy and make way for a fresh and bright new year. Wishing you all the blessings of Christmas, and I sign my first name. And here's just a little sampling of some of the cute washi tape that I'll add on the back of the envelope. Most of these are from Doodlebug since they always have adorable designs. If you like to add a little more decoration to your envelopes, I wanted to show you this set from Jaded Blossom called Funny Mail 3. This is a great set with lots of different sentiments you can add on your envelopes, and it's not just for donation cards. You could do it for any happy mail you're sending out. I decided I would stamp Happy Mail Enclosed on the back of the envelopes. I'll still add that cute piece of washi tape when I seal the envelope. And here's a peek into where I store the retirement home cards. I have 4 drawers in my craft room, and I'm sorry this is not the best video quality, but it gives you an idea of how I store them. So I have everything sorted by the theme. It makes it very easy for me to know if I'm low on one particular theme or season. That way I have an idea of what I need to work on. If I have a bunch, like you can see the Valentine's Day, I went way over, and I boxed some of those up and I have them stored in another room. My goal this year is to have all the cards for 2025 and 2026, and for a few holidays, I've already gone into 2027. In the next drawer, I do have a bag of wax seals. My daughter made all of these, and she loves to make them, and I'll put them on the back of the Mother's Day cards. For some of the card themes, I've already stamped out the envelopes. Others, I still need to stamp them. You can see here, I have extra Halloween cards. I went a little crazy making Halloween cards last year. And the final drawer, more Halloween cards. My Veterans Day cards are already finished. My Christmas cards are already finished. So everything I'm making this year will be for next year. In addition to the cards I take to the retirement home, I also bring cards to a local charity and my church. So this is how I box up cards for them. I found these cute little boxes online that fit the cards perfectly. I'll look for the link and add it in the description box. Right now I can't remember the company. The card themes I make for the two groups are whatever they request. Lots of thank you, thinking of you, hello, birthday. My church likes to have sympathy cards, congratulation cards, especially for new babies. Now the cards I take to both of these groups are blank on the inside. Sometimes I'll have a little pattern paper strip, but otherwise no sentiment, and I don't include a handwritten message. The organizations will do that themselves. On the back of the cards, I use my personal stamp. And this is another customized stamp I had made through Vistaprint. It has handmade by Kristie Marcotte, then my tagline underneath, the best things in life are pink, and my website, KristieMarcotte.com. When I have a box or two filled, I'll drop off the cards, and I always include blank envelopes. These are the envelopes that I love from Ohuhu. They come in bundles of 100 and boxes of I think 500 or 1,000. They have the self-adhesive on them. You just remove the little strip, so they're so nice. And I like they're just a tiny bit bigger than standard A2 size envelopes, so handmade cards fit in them beautifully. And even though the charity and my church know me, they know who the cards are coming from, I'll still add my business card on the top. You never know if there's somebody new, so I always include a card. I also include the business card every time I drop off a box of cards for the retirement home. If I hear about an organization requesting handmade cards, I always have some cards on hand. I've put together baskets of cards for silent auctions for different fundraisers. Another organization that is a great place to send your blank cards is Scrapbook.com's Creative Kindness, also known as Cards for Kindness. The Creative Kindness Foundation is a nonprofit organization that spreads kindness to millions of people across the world. And you can send your handmade cards to them, variety of different card themes, and they'll send them out throughout the country to those who need them. Creative Kindness has hundreds of partners that distribute the cards along with handwritten messages, and those cards will go to those who need them. For all the information you need about Creative Kindness, I suggest you check out their website, creativekindness.org. And I do have the link in the description box below. On their website, they always have a list of their most needed card themes. I don't think they've updated this list recently since it does still have St. Patrick's Day. So don't send them St. Patrick's Day cards right now. It's a little too late. Their most requested themes are Thinking of You, Happy Hello, and Blank. And they need cards for both children and adults. If you're interested in donating to Creative Kindness, they do have a guideline and you'll also fill out a submission form. They prefer A2 size cards with envelopes. If you're sending in a box, you must send at least 10 cards. That is never a problem for me. And then there are instructions on how to send your cards. On the website, there are videos, and one of them shows how to pack your cards. I printed these off the website and I thought it was so fun. The picture here at the bottom, the lemon card, Hello Sunshine, I actually sent that one in. So fun that they have it featured on their website. There are a few important notes. Your cards cannot contain any personal information. So for cards I send to Creative Kindness, I use my stamp that has Handmade by Kristie. No website listed. You can include a stamp sentiment on the inside, but no handwritten message. The different partners where they send the cards will take care of that part themselves. They also request no store-bought cards, no gifts, but they do accept monetary donations since it does take money to send out the cards to the different partners. And on their website, there is a donate option if you're interested. Creative Kindness is a great organization, so if you have a bunch of handmade cards, this may be a great option where you can share them with others. A final question I was asked is if I take a tax deduction for the cards I donate. Now, I am not a tax person, so I cannot give out tax information. Be sure to ask a professional. Personally, I do not. I'm perfectly fine just donating the cards. Hopefully, I was able to answer all your questions about donating cards. If there is a question that I missed, please leave it in the comment and I'll do my best to answer it. Be sure to check out my website at KristieMarcotte.com. I have a blog post with all the different messages I include in the cards, and I'll also do my best to provide links for the products I showed in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.